Welcome to Bastard Quest. So today we're playing Call of Cthulhu. It's a little bit different from normal. This was a Patreon episode. Came out.
We released this back in March, I believe.
Yeah, March of 1904.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm terrible with dates.
Yeah, essentially, we're way behind on recording right now. Like, between work, random shit in life, and Austin's maternity leave, we're way behind.
Oh, I thought he was being extradited.
Well, but yeah, so we've got a little extra content. The next couple weeks are actually going to be episodes that have appeared in the Patreon, or the kind of content we typically put on Patreon. So this week, we're putting an old game of Call of Cthulhu that we put on the Patreon for y'all to check out. Next week, we're actually doing a Session Zero, which it's probably the bulk of our bonus episodes on Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
The Session Zeros.
Yeah, the vast majority are Session Zeros, and that is Session Zero for Warhammer Fantasy Role-Playing, which I'm super excited, 4th edition, which I'm super excited to get to play. I've played it before, but it's one of my favorite games.
Yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to playing my character that I created in that.
Yeah, I think that we got some good characters.
I can't wait to see him go.
And as far as the episode you're about to hear, Call of Cthulhu, if I remember correctly, I am playing Brad the Lumberjack.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No, so this...
I don't remember recording this.
When we first started doing test episodes for the podcast... one of the first things we recorded was Call of Cthulhu, and it was actually probably the best test episode of anything we recorded.
Agreed.
It ended amazingly well.
Yes.
And we lost the entire first half.
We lost the entire first half of the recording, which is why young podcasters always do multiple test episodes.
Yeah. We still have no idea what the heck happened to it.
I don't know. Austin was involved, so.
I, too, blame Austin as he's not here.
And his awful penis.
So this is we essentially replayed the same adventure we did before. It does not go the same way. We didn't try to recreate
that was fun.
Yeah, Magic in a Bottle, but it's a classic Call of Cthulhu adventure. We had a lot of fun with it. I highly recommend it.
I would call it the mumblecore of role playing experiences.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, because of your character? Yeah,
perhaps.
So please enjoy.
The Duplass brothers present
That's right.
Bastard Quest Call of Cthulhu.
If you enjoy it, this is the sort of thing that we put on our Patreon, and you'll get a much better preview of that actually next week with Warhammer Fantasy.
Sure.
And then we'll get back to we're going to be playing Warhammer Fantasy for the foreseeable future. We'll get back to normal episodes. Anyway, enjoy. I don't know, guys. I say fuck Call of Cthulhu. Let's play Risk Lord of the Rings.
Oh, God.
No.
Welcome to Bastard Quest.
Thank you.
Patreon member edition.
God bless you Patreon motherfuckers.
Yeah. This is a special episode for Patreon members only.
Yeah, thus far we've done mostly for the Patreon stuff, like Session Zeros, did some movie reviews and stuff, but we're going to play a full-on fucking game tonight.
Yeah. We're going to play Call of Cthulhu. The current Call of Cthulhu edition, I think 9th edition, I'm not sure what edition it's on right now.
It's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Well, it's Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Call of Cthulhu came out, first published, actually, 1981.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm Corey.
I'm Kyle.
Yeah, who are we?
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that. It just hit me.
Yeah. Good call.
Austin.
Yes.
I
He's
introduced
Austin.
you.
I'm Austin.
Look at him over there.
I mean,
Get a load of this guy.
I'm ready.
I'm a character.
I'm Todd.
I hope if they're listening to the Patreon, they're familiar with the show.
I was about to say, yeah, if you're on Patreon, you know us.
What if we do just introduce a new guy? He's only on the Patreon.
Yeah.
And this is Brent.
Terry. Brent died. That's canon.
Oh, that's right.
It's new user Joe Frank. Just immediately subscribed to the Patreon.
He's also dead.
Has not heard the show at all.
We'd like to welcome special Patreon guest William Hurt to the broadcast.
So yeah, we're playing Call of Cthulhu. We have the starter set. We're not playing an adventure out of the starter set. But the starter set is a beautiful product.
Okay.
It is.
I
have this game.
Yeah, we are using the pre-generated characters from the starter set.
Yes.
Todd, what character are you?
I am 1920s era investigator Louis Russo.
Yeah, this is set in the 20s, I guess.
Yeah. Call of Cthulhu, the original game is set in the 1920s. It is you play investigators dealing with Lovecraftian mythos stuff.
I am an engineering student originally from New York, currently residing in Arkham. An interesting fact about me is my father works for gangster Dutch Schultz.
So Arkham, is that the city in this game?
Arkham, Massachusetts, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's one of the towns from Lovecraft's stories. The Arkham Horror is...
Arkham is home to Miskatonic University, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe
That's
so,
correct.
yeah.
Kyle, are you thinking of the Dunwich Horror?
Dunwich Horror, not the Arkham Horror.
But Arkham is kind of the equivalent of the Boston to Dunwich's whatever the country town is.
Small Murderville.
Yeah.
No, this...
That's where the bombers came from at that marathon.
Yeah.
Lord.
What? Am I wrong?
The actual adventure we're playing tonight, called The Haunting, takes place in Boston. So, Corey,
More of
who
a
are you-
haunting.
It's a wicked piss of ghost.
So, Corey, who are you playing?
I am playing Wentworth Avsbury, I guess. Avbury. I have buried.
Let's just call him Abner.
He's a languages professor. He's an older man. He like the picture in this pre-generated character. He looks like Alfred Pennyworth, like
Yeah.
who, if you didn't know, is Batman's butler, as in the popular television show Pennyworth. Is that the name of what is the
No, that's you are correct. Yes.
Pennyworth,
is a
the
show.
It's on
origin
H-
of Batman's butler?
Yeah, it's on HBO.
And by the way, the Arkham in H.P. Lovecraft is not the same as the Arkham Asylum in the Batman mythos.
Good. I don't want to deal
What's
with
the
Calendar
inspiration?
Man.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, but it kind of also is.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, but definitely they're not in the same universe.
Yeah, but to be clear, I mean, obviously, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you've listened to our regular feed. This is a different game than the Octung Cthulhu we've been playing.
That's
Yes.
right.
It's totally different rules, Kyle. So are the Octung Cthulhu is 2D20 Modifius.
Yes.
This isn't Modifius, right?
No, this is Chaosium Inc. I believe they have been the... I could be wrong, but I believe Chaosium has been the original Call of Cthulhu publisher since the early 80s.
So
That is correct.
So are they technically connected?
I don't know.
Who
You mean
can
the two
own-
games?
Yeah, I assumed Octung Cthulhu was a spinoff of Call of Cthulhu.
Well, it is.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I'm not sure that Chaosium did it because the Lovecraft mythos is
Public domain.
public domain.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So we could make...
Oh, shit. Let's make a Cthulhu game, fellas.
Let's do it.
Well, that's why there's a lot of Cthulhu games. There's a game where you're like playing Cthulhu mechs or like
Oh, God.
kaiju Cthulhu.
Lovecraft versus Tesla? Is that what you're talking about?
No. It's a game where you're
Elon Musk's involved?
where I think I think the premise is that you're piloting, giant robots fighting Lovecraftian horrors.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
But there's
should make
lots of,
one.
Pretty sure that's a Guillermo del Toro movie.
Yeah.
well, it's a good one.
Such a big Lovecraft fan. No, I actually think we only just recently crossed over the threshold where now everything he wrote is in the public
Oh,
domain.
wow. Then we should definitely make a game. How about this, guys? Surfing Cthulhu. Check him on those waves.
Yep.
Don't bail.
So
Jeff Spicoli of
yeah, so we're gonna play The Haunting, which I don't recall who wrote The Haunting. It may have been Sandy Peterson who invented Call of Cthulhu.
Writer from Doom? Like id Software, Sandy Peterson?
No, you're thinking of West Coast Sandy Peterson. This is Midwest Sandy Peterson.
Well, my impulse would be to say no. However,
Wait, Sandy Peterson that I took to the prom?
He was a huge
No.
Lovecraft fan.
No, you're
That
thinking-
surprised me.
there have been a lot of RPG designers that have gone into video games. So it could have been this. Could be the same guy, but I don't know.
That's interesting.
He's on Twitter. He's on Twitter. And
Austin, who are you?
I, of course, picked the only character with a nickname. I am playing Harry Nevada Smith,
Okay.
who's an archaeological professor, ruggedly handsome, and pretty stupid.
Has a whip.
Does he have a whip?
Small Asian boy.
That's probably how it would be described in a Lovecraft story.
He's fucking Steven Spielberg's wife, too.
Now, Nevada's just got a 38.
Yeah, one of the fun things about doing pre-made characters is they do give you info in the characters, which we can kind of get wacky with. For example, like Wentworth, it's got his personal description. He has a lifelong interest in myth and folklore, supernatural shit. Significant people they have listed on here is late wife Jane, who he thinks there was something she wanted to tell him before she died. Probably like, find the cure.
I mean,
She was talking about the band, right?
Yes. It's got like meaningful locations. He likes a quiet woodland space. He's going to be a powerful combatant. I can go in there and tell you.
It sounds like him.
Yeah. Well, Austin has a 38 revolver. He does not have weapons. He has a treasured possession, which is a small frame containing a photograph of Jane again. Fucking get over it. Other gear and possessions he has a fountain pen and pencils, a notepad, and again the photo of his dead wife.
Sensing a theme.
He's ready to fight Cthulhu.
Yeah, he's an inquisitive man and sucks.
Hey, the pen is mightier than the sword,
Okay, we'll
All right.
see.
but a 38 is better.
A little bit.
What you got, Dakota?
Nevada
Oh, sorry.
is, you know what? Just picture Harrison Ford.
No.
Not gonna.
like 80-year-old Harrison Ford?
Picture like they made a knockoff of Indiana Jones in 1994, and of course they couldn't get Harrison Ford, but they cast a guy that looked sort of like Harrison Ford.
So Mark Harmon.
I'm picturing
Yes.
more a guy who looks like DJ Qualls cosplaying as Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
I like to imagine it's Indiana Jones if if Tom Selleck actually had gotten cast.
Asthmatic Indiana Jones. Maybe.
Tom Selleck has asthma?
So
More Alan Quartermain, like knockoff.
Yeah.
That's Richard Chamberlain.
yeah, he's got a strong love of history and ancient cultures. Wants to make a name for himself finding lost treasures. He has a father who's a famous explorer, obviously, and feels like he's kind of trapped in his shadow.
Reno Jones, is that what his name is?
His father's name's Frank.
Okay.
Frank Nevada.
They call him Des Moines.
His meaningful locations is a bar.
Well,
His treasured possession is a St. Christopher medallion, which he believes is a good luck charm. And he's pretty reckless.
all right. Well, Mr. Louis Russo has an athletic physique, as engineering students do.
That counts as a
Well,
weapon.
most of them, yes.
He was raised in the Catholic Church, but has a healthy respect for the supernatural. It can
Yeah.
be quite superstitious. As I mentioned earlier, his father works for Dutch Schultz, the gangster in New York. Meaningful locations, obviously New York City, and treasured possessions. A switchblade knife that his father gave him, who said, "Keep this with you. It'll get you out of hard spots."
Okay.
Did anyone in the 1920s have an athletic physique?
Well,
Everybody was pretty doughy.
yeah.
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 But he's a young guy, but he was a 5-pack a day tot.
Olympian runners were 240 pounds.
I feel like people were either hefty or starving.
Right. Yeah. In addition to the switchblade knife, he has a pencil, notepad, and a crucifix. And he's described as hard-nosed.
Often hear people say, man, that guy's got a six-pack like an engineer.
So as Corey mentioned before, this is vastly different from the 2D20 Octoon Cthulhu that we're playing.
Yeah, this is 3D20.
I don't know. I have 2 D10s for some reason, which
Yeah.
is weird.
Call of Cthulhu is a percentile dice game, which what that means is you're going to roll 2 D10s. One is going to be the 10s die, one is going to be the 1s, to get a number from 1 to 100. In Call of Cthulhu, your investigators will have different characteristics like strength or appearance, intelligence, and they'll have different skills. For example, fast talk, medicine,
There's
survival.
a bunch of skills.
There's a bunch of skills. This is one of the
Locksmith.
this is one of the first skill-based games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so, example, I've got a generic character sheet for a character called Kiko Kane, and she has library use at 50%. So, if she's using the library to research something unusual, she take 2d10s, and if the player rolls under 50%, they succeed. If it's a hard roll, they'll have to try to roll under half of their skill. So if she's looking up something really hard, she'd need to roll under a 25. If it's extremely hard, it's like a fifth of the skill, and she'd need to roll under a 10.
So these pre-made characters, Kyle, they're already notated out with our skills.
Yeah.
So are these numbers next to the skills, are those the given indicators you were just talking about? Like, for example,
Yes.
Nevada Smith's firearms skill is at 20%. So I have three numbers marked off next to that skill. One is 40, one is 20, and one is 8.
Yeah, it should be the one is the normal roll, the bigger number, or the number in the bigger box, I should say, and then the other is the at half, and then the other is at a fifth. One other interesting aspect of Call of Cthulhu is all characters have a luck characteristic, and you can always roll your luck to see. You're in a dark room, check around to find a flashlight. Well, the GM doesn't know. He hasn't inventoried that room. Hey, roll your luck, and if you roll it, then boom, there's a flashlight. This game also famously has the sanity tracker. As your sanity decreases, you get more insane. Call of Cthulhu characters are infamous in tabletop gaming community for going nuts or dying. This is generally a high lethality game. We did play Call of Cthulhu once, way before we started dropping episodes, and everybody died.
Yeah, we played it once, and we did record it, and it was maybe the first thing we ever recorded as a test episode. The plan was, if it turns out good, we'll put it on the Patreon or whatever. But for whatever reason, we lost half the episode, which is why young podcasters do test episodes.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Which we wanted to revisit that and do Call of Cthulhu again.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing this Patreon special episode. We'll probably do one on the main feed at some point, I suspect.
I really feel like this game is very accurately H.P. Lovecraftian, especially when you get down to how it uses percentages and math, because the one thing that H.P. Lovecraft was known for was his love of equations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And minorities.
And that's all the rules you need to know. You're ready to play Call of Cthulhu.
I doubt it.
I really don't feel like I am.
So the three of you work for the Irregular Investigations Division of the Department of Justice. You've been dispatched by your handler, Junior Agent Bussy, to Massachusetts.
Yeah. Patreon member Kenny Bussy. Thank you.
Your mission is to investigate a location called the Corbett House. It has been a hotspot recently in the division's records. Lots of anomalous behavior. Inhabitants tend to go insane and murder their families. And this has happened multiple times over the decades. So the Irregular Investigations Division is finally deploying a team to find out if it's just coincidence or if there is something more nefarious going on. None of you know the full details of the mythos, but you all have some inkling suspicion that the world is not as you think that it is. None of you would have likely seen an actual spell book or a Cthulian horror or anything like that. So you are in Boston. You guys are at a dive bar. You've just arrived, just got off the train. You have, of course, the address to the Corbett House. You also have a key that the division has procured. Your cover story is that your investigators working for the landlord, Mr. Knott, to determine whether his house are haunted so he can put it on the market. Of course, you're actually working for the division. So what do you guys want to do first? Go to the house, burn it down, shoot a waitress?
Well, we're in a bar. I say we have a drink.
Yeah, I'll get the first round for everybody.
Hey, how about you there, Mr. Sad Sack? What you drinking?
My wife is dead.
So gin and tonic then?
Jane used to be partial to the Shirley Temples. Yes, Jane.
You know the Shirley Temple doesn't have any alcohol in it, right? I mean, it's a kid's drink.
I did not marry a child. My wife is... Jane is dead.
So there's a moment of silence, and you guys just turn to look at the waitress that's been standing there the entire time and says, I can come back.
No, it's okay. I'll take a whiskey, whatever my friend said here, the engineer.
I'm just going to have a beer.
I just want my wife back.
I don't think the waitress can get that for you, Pally. Just bring my man here a Shirley Temple.
Sure, she goes off, and you guys can decide where you're going to start your investigation.
All right, so we got to get inside this house. We have the key. Do we need to prepare anything before we go, or do we just go as is?
It's always good to be prepared.
Yeah, that's what I think, too.
Yes, I thought I was prepared to live my life alone, but here I am, and I was not prepared.
For what?
The infinite sadness of losing your wife.
All right.
Jane was...
Let me
Where's
ask
that drink?
Let me ask you a question there, Mr. Sad Sack. How long ago was it that your wife died?
What is today?
It's 1925. It's November.
It has been 30 years past. She died of the large pox.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Yes. Large pox. If you are familiar with the smallpox, it's like that, but much bigger.
She just had one giant bust.
One giant pox.
She turned into a Lovecraftian creature.
All right, so exactly, Mr. Nevada, what exactly are you talking about as far as preparation? I mean, we got a key, we know the place is haunted, we just got to go in there and figure out what the fuck is up, right?
I have a photo of her.
I've seen the picture of your wife, all right?
Do any of you have any weapons?
I got a switchblade. My dad gave it to me. By the way, my dad, you probably heard of my dad?
Well, I don't know. Who was he?
The daffodils
Babyface Russo.
were in bloom.
Nothing? What? No, what? Have you been living under a fucking rock? He works for Dutch Schultz in New York City. Come on.
I mean, I spend most of my time in South America, and I'm finding it hard to focus right now with this.
I mean, we got operations in South America. I mean, come on.
Dance amongst the daffodils, my daffodils.
Well, I'll tell you the preparation I'm going to take. I'm going to go have my drink at the bar and not here at this table. And then if you guys think we need any investigative tools like archaeological tools or something like that, I've got that in my office. And then we can go.
Sounds good to me. I mean, I'm ready for a little action, you know what I'm saying? Mainly I want to go drink my drink and get away from Mr. Sad Pants over here.
And women should be able to have haircuts.
Why did the fucking DOJ put us with this guy?
Jane.
We flash back to 30 years ago. Wentworth is in his office at college. The camera pans to their house where Jane is faking her death. Just getting on a train. She just gets a ticket to San Francisco and just leaves.
Kills the maid.
Yeah.
Puts a Jane wig on it.
Chloroforms the maid, puts her in the bed, burns the house down, and it's gone. So, out of character, because clearly your characters are not capable of making decisions, what are you guys going to do first? You could do research. You could go to the Central Library or visit the Boston Globe. You could just go straight to the house.
I say we go straight to the house.
Yeah.
I say we split up.
Oh, God.
No.
Good idea. I love it.
Uh-huh.
I think one of us should at least go to the library and see if we can find any public information on this house and see if we can find out any of the history about it.
All right, you go to the library. I got different ways of getting information. I'm going to go talk to a friend of mine over at this place. It's a place with a guy. I'm going to talk to the guy. The guy's going to tell me what's happening.
Nevada taps his nose and says, all right, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Mr. Bereaved,
that was Jay.
I feel like you're the better reader of the group. Would you mind taking a gander over at the library to see what you can find out about this house?
Jane always loved the library.
Is that a yes or a no?
I will read in her honor and memory. She's a beautiful breast like a cluster of grapes.
How many breasts did she have?
Everything about this woman was Cthulian. All right, then. It's settled. You're going to go talk to your friend.
I'm gonna go talk to my
Lewis.
guy, maybe get some gabagool, you know what I'm saying? And
You
maybe
get whatever you want.
maybe get a pizza pie. I'm doing Italian.
Yes, books.
And who are you?
Wentworth.
Sorry. I've forgotten everything but Julia at this point.
Wentworth, more like went
Her
sad.
name was Jane.
And Wentworth, you're going to go to the library and read up on this house. And in the meantime, I think I'll go ahead and take a look at the house and do some preliminary scouting around.
Okay, so let's do Wentworth at the library. It should be riveting. So Wentworth heads to the Central Library, that worthy institution. Starts researching, and what are you looking for? Anything in particular? Just general research on the house?
I think so. There should be like public records on like when the house was built, all that kind of stuff. So just general information, I think.
Sure. You can make a library use roll appropriately.
Okay. So Wentworth has a 60 in library use. How does this work, Kyle?
Yeah, so all you got to do is roll percentile die. You want to roll under, well, in this case, 60.
Okay.
Ideally, you do this with different colored dice.
Sure.
And declare which one is high, which one is low.
Okay, I will roll. 26. So I was going for under, right?
Yeah, you're going for under. So that was a really good success because you got under half as well.
Okay.
Wentworth spends most of the day at the library going through some of the old records relating to the Corbett house, looking at newspaper clippings and microfilm. Do they have microfilm in the 20s? I don't know.
Microfiche or whatever. Is that what they call it? Yeah.
I don't know if they had that in the 20s, but
They
in this
had
universe,
tablets
they do,
you could
yeah.
look at. Yeah, like stone tablets.
They have stone tablets at the Boston Library, Central Library. Yeah.
Yes.
One dude in the back just.
And they got Jerry in the back. He knows everybody.
I remember when this was all farmland. So the earliest record you find is in 1835. Prosperous merchant builds the house, but immediately falls ill and sells it to a Mr. Walter Corbett, Esquire. 1852, Corbett is sued by his neighbors, who actually get a petition to force him to leave the area in consequence of his serious habits and unauspicious demeanor. There's no record of the outcome of the lawsuit, but you do find an obituary in 1866 in which Corbett is still living at the same location and states that there's a second lawsuit being waged to prevent Corbett from being buried in his basement, as provided by his will. But there's no outcome to the second lawsuit.
Jane had no will.
Fair enough. All right, Todd, where is
Lewis.
Bungo.
Bungo?
Where's Bungo going?
Where's Lewis going?
I hate these Cthulhus.
You know, he knows people. He's going to see this guy. He's going to talk to this guy. This guy knows the landlord there at the building, and he's going to see if he can get some information out of him. He's going to use his intimidation.
Okay, you know a guy. You know Mr. Dooley.
Yeah, I
He's,
know Mr. Dooley.
He sells cigars, newspapers. Not far from the Corbett house. He has a newsstand.
He sees the comings and goings and whatnot.
Yeah, so you find Mr. Dooley. He's at his newsstand, side of a busy street, selling newspapers, selling cigars. Definitely not running books.
Mr. Dooley, you know who I am, right?
Good morning, Lewis.
Yeah, so, I'm in town for a few days, you know, and, I notice you're a little behind on your payments there, buddy.
You want a cigar? Maybe a newspaper? Boston Globe, Harley Herald edition?
No, I don't want none of that shit.
No?
I need one of two things. Either I need money or I need information. Which one are you willing to give me before I beat the ever-loving shit out of you?
A friendly hug?
No, it's going to be a hug, but it's not going to be the friendly kind.
That's... All hugs are friendly.
No, they're not.
Lewis.
No, they're not.
All hugs are friendly.
Knife hug.
Yeah.
You can roll your intimidate.
Okay. It's 50.
Well,
So-
50 is pretty good.
That's an 82. That's
Not-
high.
Not
That's
the
not
best.
good.
Not the best.
His blade goes limp.
You know, he actually, instead of pulling out his switchblade, he pulled out his switchblade comb. Yeah. Bing. Now look here, Mr. Dooley. I don't want to mess your hair up.
So,
but I'm gonna.
you're pulling this comb out, combing your hair. 2 cops cross the street, greeting Dooley. Hello, officers. Buying cigars, buying newspapers.
Don't worry, it's the 20s. They won't
Yeah.
immediately start shooting at you.
And he introduces, this is my friend Lewis.
Hi, hello, officers. How you doing? I just came by to see my friend, Mr. Dooley, and why don't you give me one of those cigars there, buddy?
I knew you would like a cigar, maybe a friendly hug. And one of the cops says, yep, Mr. Dooley's hugs are the best.
20s cops. The hugging kind.
The hugging cops.
Now they hug you with their knees.
So, Todd, do you want to try a different tactic with Mr. Dooley?
I'm gonna use my fighting.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
It's a 60.
How are you going to use your fighting?
I'm gonna try to fight off both of the cops.
Excellent.
Okay.
And
All right.
This is what you get on the Patreon exclusives.
Yeah.
right.
I didn't expect this to be a very long adventure. I didn't realize it was going to be quite this short, though.
Right.
Okay, here we go. I need my target number is 60. I need to roll below that.
This is how Todd defunds the police.
Oh, I rolled a 6.
Ooh.
Okay. How does Lewis assault these police officers?
He's a master of capoeira. We haven't discussed this.
He hugs both of them.
And squeezes their spines.
Yeah, it just squeezes them until they pass out, which is really weird because you'd think after the first one, the second one would understand what's happening, but he just wants a hug so bad.
It looked like such a great hug.
Yeah.
So there's 2 unconscious police officers and Mr. Dooley.
In broad daylight?
Yeah,
Sure.
at a newsstand.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you whatever you want to know.
All right, tell me about this Mr. Knott, who's the landlord here at this building here that has all the weird shit going on in it.
He's a palooka. He's fine. It's not him. He's too young. He's young.
Okay, so you see people coming and go. You're here all day long. You see people coming and going.
I see
from this
people
building?
coming and going. I see
Yeah.
things.
What gives?
Okay, so a couple years ago, these people named the Macarios, they move in, and I think, okay, maybe they're immigrants, but they could be okay. Italians.
Yeah, don't be prejudiced against Italians.
No, he was
because
okay. He was fine. And then Mr. Macario kind of goes crazy.
I love the term, don't be prejudiced in Boston.
Don't be prejudiced in Boston just means don't stab them in the eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So Macario, he has some kind of accident. I don't know what kind, but then he goes crazy. He starts babbling about seeing this ghost with burning eyes. Yeah, about a month back, the old Miss Macario, she goes crazy. And both of them are over in Roxbury. And the kids, they sent them down to Baltimore.
Oh God.
Yeah.
A fate worse than death. Baltimore.
Yeah. I went to Baltimore once and I got this rash. You want to see it?
No, I'm good. Thank you. All right,
there?
so
It's on my cat.
All right, Mr. Dooley. Well, I appreciate the information, that's going to because of the information, I'm going to let things slide for another month, but I'll be
and
back.
there was one more thing. A bunch of kids broke in and they all got their heads chopped off.
Okay, well, that's important to know.
Should I have led with that? Was that the more?
I mean, probably that would have been the more important thing to let me know, because if there's kids going in there getting their heads chopped off, that
Well,
means
I don't know if it was heads chopped off, but they were all dead. I figured I embellished.
Do you have any idea who might have done the head chopping?
I don't know. I'm just saying the Yankees were playing in town that week, and nobody knew what Babe Ruth was doing that night.
Well,
How did we know he didn't go to the Corbett house and murder some teenagers?
I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, the Bambino is quite the Cthulian colossus.
I saw him fit 3 hot dogs in his mouth one time. That's not natural.
Mr. Dooley, thank you for your information. It's been very helpful. You have a nice day, and please, when those coppers wake up, let's just forget this ever happened. All right?
Okay, I'm leaving immediately also.
and Babe Ruth was notorious for calling his shots when he cut off children's heads.
That's true.
Alrighty. Austin?
So Nevada stopped by the photography department at Miskatonic University and borrowed a camera and is bringing it with him to the house. He wants to pose as a home inspector for Mr. Knott. So he made a name tag for himself that says "Not Real Estate" across his chest.
Okay.
He thinks it's a good cover, but
Not your father's real estate.
he doesn't really understand all the skeptical expressions he gets, like walking to the house. So my aim when I get there is basically to just do reconnaissance. We're not going to do any digging. We're not going to do any searching around. We're definitely not going anywhere dark and spooky while it's just me here.
Well, I mean, it's daylight. It's the middle of the day when
Of course.
when Nevada heads over there.
Yeah, ghouls are sleeping.
Yeah.
So he feels pretty confident. So basically, we're just going to take some photographs and see if they reveal anything.
The Corbett House is a smaller house in a very developed part of Boston. It's this brick building overshadowed by taller, newer office buildings on either side. The house fronts the street. In the rear are overgrown plantings and half-collapsed arbor. Access to the rear exists on either side of the residence. Studying the house, Nevada is impressed by the way the house seems to withdraw into the shadows cast by the flanking buildings and how the blank curtain windows hide all understanding of what lies within.
Yeah, but I've been at a temple in South America, so let's do this.
All right, so
And he goes in the front door.
Yeah, you have a key to the front door. It's secured with a single lock, but when you open it, you notice that there have been 4 additional bolts added within the last year or two. None of them were engaged.
Bolts on the inside of the door?
Yeah, bolt locks.
Okay.
So, Nevada, it's the middle of the day. All the lights are out in the house. Nobody's living here right now. But even though there's nobody living here, you're standing in a mudroom. There are overcoats and galoshes, hats. There's bags of coal in the corner and little else of interest. Of course, there's a doorway leading deeper into the house.
Nevada goes ahead and proceeds.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
I'm really just looking to make sure that we already know the layout of the house when we come in and to know, really just take note of any interesting either artifacts or objects or evidence that we can investigate further once we've regrouped.
Okay, so what skill are you going to use to just do a cursory investigation of the house?
Kyle, let's go with spot hidden.
Cool.
I've got a skill of 50 in that.
Okay.
Just really looking for anything that would appear out of place in what would otherwise be a suburban residential dwelling.
Okay, so we'll do it floor by floor. You're on the first floor. There's an upper floor and a basement, so roll for the first floor.
Okay. I rolled a 37.
So you go through the basic rooms on the first floor. There's a kitchen. It's got an icebox, a wood-fed stove, canned soups and meats. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Kyle, I'm going to also say I snap a photo of each room just at a wide angle.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. The dining room, long mahogany table. 3 places are set unused. Living room, conventional furnishings, a radio, couch, stuffed chairs. Again, nothing out of the ordinary. You go to a storage room, old furniture. Looks like somebody was breaking it up to burn it in a wood stove. And there's another storage room as well, filled with boxes and junk. There's a rusted water tank, an old bicycle. At the right end of the room is a cupboard that is boarded shut. Somebody has nailed wooden planks over it. You pry those off because if Nevada is anything, he's curious. There are 3 bound books within, quickly identified as the diaries of somebody named W. Corbett.
I take those.
The address on the flyleaf of the first volume is for this location. And that is all that remains to be found on the ground floor.
Okay. Yeah, so I stow away those diaries. And yeah, I guess let's go ahead and take a look at the second floor.
Okay. Roll your find hidden.
Okay. Again, trying to get under a 50. I rolled a 31.
The main bedroom, there's a double bed, bookshelf with a nice window view of the front yard. Lots of crosses and candles in here, but you don't find anything of interest. There's a children's bedroom, 2 small beds, toys, pictures of aircraft and cowboys.
Heads everywhere.
Heads everywhere. No. Then there's a spare bedroom with just a bed frame that's on bare bed springs and a dresser. It doesn't look that dissimilar from the other rooms, though this one obviously has not been inhabited that recently. Austin, make a dodge roll.
Okay, I have a dodge of 35. Rolled a 28.
Ooh.
You heard some scratching at the window. You figured it was a squirrel. You go over to look. As you're sitting there, you hear a scraping sound behind you, and you see in the reflected window pane the bed just simply lurch across the room straight towards you, and you're able to lunge out of the way as it slams into the wall and cracks the window.
God. It's deathbed, the bed that eats people.
Thank you for that.
So you need to make a sanity check.
Okay. How do I do that?
The way you roll a sanity check is, what's your current sanity score, Austin?
It's lying at a 50.
So you need to roll equal to or under a 50.
Oh, okay. So for luck or sanity, if we're trying to use those, we just try to roll underneath them?
Yeah. You want to roll
current
low.
Is? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then I'm just trying to beat a 50. I rolled a 33. No, a 38.
So you lose 1 sanity.
Okay.
If you had failed, you would lose 1d4 sanity.
Oh, okay.
Writing it off as, maybe the floor was sloped and you didn't notice. You finish your survey of the upper floor. There's a bathroom, a water closet with an overhead tank. A towel tries to strangle you. No.
I started to say, I feel confident in saying Nevada's probably rushing the rest of these rooms.
Yeah, no, that was the only other remaining room, and there's nothing of interest in it. Just a dripping faucet in the bathtub, but other than that, nothing of interest.
All right, well, I got enough by myself. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Nevada is walks down the steps. As you pass by the door to the basement, you hear a thumping sound.
Nevada walks faster.
And you get out the front door.
Okay, cool.
Nothing following you as far as you know. The three of you reconvene at the dive bar you were at earlier. Your drinks are left on the table, and you can share information and decide what you want to do next.
Jeez, let me tell you, there's been some weird shit happening in this building, all right? I got from my source a lot of information. Apparently, there was this Mercutio fella who, murdered his family and his wife went crazy. Anyway, it was just all kinds of craziness, and there was death and murder and everything. Oh, and also, there was a bunch of kids that went into this house, and they all got their heads chopped off by Babe Ruth.
Jane was...
You say that again?
Babe Ruth decapitated children in the house, the Corbett house.
You got evidence for this?
I got a
favored badminton.
good source, okay? Babe Ruth, the Bambino, George Herman decapitated kids.
All right.
We would go.
Nevada's keeping a journal of all their findings. He says, all right, I'm just going to write down children decapitated, and would you hold it down just a little bit?
Jane was a Lutheran, but not practicing.
Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yes, was married for a long moment, as far as our old-timey lifespans would allow, which means 40 was our typical time of death.
Hey, Lewis, can I borrow your switchblade?
And we cut to Jane living her life in San Francisco over the decades, just having sex with increasingly younger men.
There's a shot of her doing reverse cowgirl on F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Just living her best life.
So Weathermore, did you find anything at the library or not?
Wait, what did you call him?
I don't know.
His name is Wentworth.
I found Jane's obituary, and after that I did my appointed task as I did in her honor.
Yes, what did you find there, Pally?
Jane, I found many informations about the Corbett man, the house.
Wait, did you say Corbett?
Corbett.
Go on.
Wentworth explains the shit he found.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Nevada pulls the bundle of journals he found in the closet out and puts them on the table and says, fellas, I think we got a trail to follow at least here. Because these journals also belong to a W. Corbett.
I'm liking where this is going. Let's take a look at these and see what we can find.
Especially if this Corbett was a shady figure. So, Wentworth, you said a group of people tried to sue to keep them from burying him in the basement?
She enjoyed the ducks. What? Yes. Pardon. Yes.
All right, well then I want to know why he wanted to be buried in his basement.
Okay, so it's one of those montages where it's like all three of us just like poring over the diaries while like some kind of music plays on the soundtrack.
We send Wentworth off to have an intern like develop Nevada's photographs or something.
So who is reading the diaries?
Wentworth, you're probably the best at reading.
I have read many things, mostly Jane's obituary.
Just over and over.
Yeah, I'm not the best at reading. I'm going to be honest with you.
Name in it.
Not gonna lie. Not the best reader. I'm more of an engineer. You see, I'm an engineer. That's what I am. That's what I'm in school for is engineering. You understand? I'm not a reader. I'm more of an engineer. You know, my dad did not get me this position because of who he is. I'm an engineer. I'm really good with numbers and bridges and shit. You know what I'm saying? Engineer, right here. Y'all do the reading.
I'm really not liking you, both of you guys' love for monologues.
Hello.
So, Lewis, do you want to take care of developing these photos? And Wentworth, you can read through the diaries. And I would really appreciate it if you could just make notes that I could read on what you found, because I really don't want to listen to you explain it.
Her teeth were white as snow.
I'll develop the pictures.
Hey, Lewis, what do you think the bet is that Wentworth murdered his wife?
You know what?
I will leave.
For where?
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I know murder, and this guy not murdered anybody, okay? Just trust me on that one.
Okay. So Nevada gives Wentworth the journals.
So I'm going to Walgreens to get these photographs developed.
Jane.
Well, and I added that for some color. Kyle, is there anything to possibly pull from the photographs or anything like that?
Maybe.
Okay. For me or anyone around me.
So Nevada and Wentworth are reading the journals.
Yeah, we can say I assist him.
So you guys can, well, if you both, take turns reading, you can reduce the time to half. Each of you can add +4 to your Cthulhu Mythos skill.
What does that do?
I would have to refer back, but I'm pretty sure it's for using magic and nonsense like that.
Oh, okay.
So both of you read Corbett's journals. Each of you also loses 1d4 sanity points.
Okay.
You do not get to test to save.
Oh, I lose all 4.
So first adventure, Austin's character's down 5 sanity.
Wentworth rolled a 3.
Yeah.
His sanity is higher than Austin. It's a 60.
Oh, okay. I was going to say like sitting at a shaky 10.
No, it's 60.
So the diaries describe Corbett's various occult experiments, including the summoning of some unearthly spirit and other magic, and clearly describe a spell entitled Call Forth the Opener of Ways, which you don't know what that means, but it sounds bad. His description of how this spell is to be conducted is incredibly complex, and it would take you weeks, approximately 2d6 weeks, to learn how to cast it.
Okay. Weird.
And that is the primary information you gleaned from his journals.
Okay.
So Nevada is going over Wentworth's notes, and it's just Jane, written in the margin of the pages, just complete over and over again.
Yeah.
What about the photographs?
The photographs definitely show some ectoplasmic entities floating through the house.
Hey guys, check out these photos. They definitely show some ectoplasmic entities floating through the house.
Really focused. There was a lot of them in the room where the bed attacked.
Yeah, did I tell you guys about the bedroom?
What, you got attacked by a bed?
Yeah. Tried to throw me out the fucking window.
One night in her
What do you guys think? We know this Corbett guy was trying to summon entities.
Here's what I know, all right? There's ghosts in the house. You got attacked by a bed. This Corbett guy was into some shady, freaky shit, and Wentworth's wife apparently is dead.
Jane. It's a dead woman.
That's very true. I don't think relevant to this case in particular, but... So if this Corbett guy was trying to summon something, and the townspeople were, we know they sued him over disturbances coming from the house, and then they tried to keep him from What, being buried in the basement?
Something like that, yeah. You know, I think long story short, here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to go into that fucking house and kill Babe Ruth.
Well, I think you're not too far off there, Lewis. My guess is that maybe Corbett either
every day
isn't dead at all,
gets closer to Jane,
or before he did die,
her dead
tried to summon something and bury it in the basement.
her dead soul.
It's just snippets, and it's just the most insane.
No, I love it so much. I think you might be onto something there, buddy. Let's, why don't the three of us go to that house and, hey, you know what? I got my switchblade. Let's see what happens.
I got my gun.
I'm
and I
ready.
got my St. Christopher medallion.
I got a crucifix and a switchblade. I'm ready to stab some fucking ghost.
I got my photo of Jane
So
and a pen.
You make a very good point there, Wentworth. I think we actually should arm ourselves a little better before we head to the house.
Okay.
No. So the three investigators head to the Corbett house. You arrive at about 9 o'clock. It's dark. The mood is out. You have a key.
All right.
You do the others there, Nevada.
I still have her washcloth.
All right, Wentworth. This is a stealth operation, so I'm going to need you to just hang on to it for just a few minutes.
Yes, no problem.
All right.
As I look into my
Damn it.
Come on, just open the door.
Wait,
It'll be
I'm
all right.
opening the house.
What am I doing? Something weird?
I need you to be quiet for just a few minutes while we check this house out.
Yes, no, of course, no problem.
And stay on the lookout, because there is all kinds of wicked shit happening in this house.
I'm here to look, my friend.
Let us know if you see Babe Ruth.
Jane was a looker. Yes.
So the three of you go into the house, make your way through the first floor to the door to the basement, which is locked from this side and has 3 bolts, all engaged.
Allow me, gentlemen. And Wentworth tears his shirt off and is like,
If I had the character sheet, of your character from Conan the Barbarian, I would just hand it to you.
I like where this is going.
So you guys open the locks, open the door.
Wentworth just rips the door off its hinges.
The basement stairs are in full repair. Flipping the switch on the wall, the light does not come on.
Did anybody think to bring a light?
went out in Jane's eyes as well.
All right, so Kyle, I have a generic termed item in my gear. It just says travel gear and a satchel. Could I reasonably argue for at least having some torches?
Yeah, roll your luck.
All right, my current luck is sitting at a 60. I rolled a 92.
Hey,
Oh,
No, say you got a flashlight in there,
Okay.
and the batteries are definitely not about to die.
Okay.
So you guys are going to have to make a dex or a climb roll
Yes.
to get down the steps safely. This is a combined roll, so we'll just roll the dice once and compare the result with your various skills. So who wants to roll? Corey, you haven't rolled a lot.
Wentworth's a tad rigid. His dexterity is not great. It's a 40.
But you're rolling for all of us.
Oh, great. Okay. 43.
Okay, so Todd,
The age Jane died.
is this our climb? Is that what we're using?
you can use climb or dex. It's up to you.
Well, my dex is 70, so I'm definitely using dex.
Okay,
So am I. My dex is the same.
so Wentworth failed.
In many ways, I was not there for her in her final moments as I ever wanted to be. Often wonder.
Wentworth believes the stairs are too dangerous, even though these two people ably make it down.
Jane fell down the stairs and broke her neck in 8 places.
So you can Wentworth can either remain upstairs or push the roll and risk failing.
And what does push do?
So when you push, you can roll again, the same skill or characteristic.
Okay, is that like spending something or?
No, if you fail the push, the consequences for failure are worse.
Okay, I do that.
Good.
This is just for Patreon people. I don't care about them. No, they probably want to see us die harder.
Yeah.
And I want to give that to them. Okay, I mean, I barely missed it.
You got real close.
Yeah. 39.
Nice.
One under. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the ghost of Jane urging him forward.
Jane was there.
Wentworth
My hand
climbs
moving forward.
on his hands and knees very carefully down the steps.
That's how she liked me.
So
Nevada follows Wentworth down the stairs with the beam of his flashlight, and when he finally gets down there, says, "You make it okay, Magellan?"
So the basement that you can see through the light of Nevada's flashlight is a smallish room, scattered with tools, an old pipe, trash can lid, lumber, nails, lots of junk collected over the years. Looking around, you don't see much of interest, and then the flashlight goes out.
Well, let's look around here first to see if we can find any other sources of light.
Lewis is going to roll his luck to see if he has any night vision goggles.
Man came to her and
Let me go and field this one. You don't.
into
Those aren't going to be invented for about 80 years.
God damn it.
Now, I will roll luck to see if maybe we can find some candles to light or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even if they're in a pentagram for no real reason.
Yeah, look around.
But she returned and looked satiated.
All right, my luck is now at... No, it's still 60.
I loved her.
Oh, rolled a 24.
The age of Jane's death.
Yeah, you find some. You find some candles, and you. I mean, it's the 20s. You have a lighter on you.
All right, so Nevada lights the candles up and finds quite a few of them, shedding a lot of good light into the basement. It's a little ominous, but... So, Kyle, what is the floor of the basement?
It's dirt.
That's where Jane lives.
Here in the basement?
The dirt.
Yeah,
Oh, just in general?
Back
we're
to the
aware.
earth
Trust me, we're aware.
Yeah.
One day I will.
Lewis, you see anything around here we could dig with?
We will.
What are we digging for?
Well, if there's something buried here in the basement, then we got to make sure and get it out and deal with it.
There's
All right, is there a shovel in this basement?
I know where one thing is buried. It is my wife, Jane. She's dead.
Do I roll my luck to see if there's a
I
shovel?
will not dig her up. I know where. I know of her.
So Corey, roll your power.
Okay.
Oh, love the sound of this.
Wentworth has a 60 in power, just a powerful man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he did get us in the basement door.
Yeah. No wonder he hulked out of his dandy suit.
57.
Okay, so you lost.
What? I got under.
Yeah, it was an opposed roll,
Oh, okay.
and he did a lot better than you.
Oh.
So no one knows this. Well, none of you know this, but Corbett has cast Dominate on Wentworth.
Jane.
This leaves you in a dazed state, subject to telepathic commands from Corbett. These may take the form of subtle and creepy hallucinations, or direct commands at the keeper's discretion.
So, Corey, I know it won't be enough for us to notice it, but what does it look like when Wentworth is overcome with this power?
He gets completely naked.
So what Wentworth sees is his wife Jane is there beside him,
Yes, Jane.
and she says, "They kept me from you, Wentworth,
Jane.
Nevada, and Lewis.
These men.
They've kept me in this basement. They're horrible.
You are not a basement woman.
No, they made me a basement woman."
I know.
Lewis, you hear Wentworth talking?
I always hear Wentworth talking. He hasn't shut up since we've been on this mission.
Yeah, but it's taken on like a different cadence.
Say that to Jane.
You should kill them for me.
Jane.
They did things to me.
Jane.
One of them touched my ankle.
Jane.
Wentworth takes his fountain pen. Who's the closest to
Oh,
me?
God.
Let's see.
Just roll.
Todd.
Okay.
I
Lewis.
plunge it into Todd's neck, or
Okay.
Lewis's neck.
Jesus.
So roll your attack.
Okay, how do attacks work?
Fighting.
Okay. I do that.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
there's a fighting skill.
Oh, I see. Fighting brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a 45. Got an 83.
You can push yourself.
Oh, he's pushing himself. He has to.
Also, this is a rule we haven't used yet, but they're completely unaware. You're surprising them, so you'll get a bonus die. Basically, the bonus die is an additional tens die, and you take the best one.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, shit.
Like an advantage thing.
yeah.
That's 27.
So I'm going to say the damage for your fountain pen is 1d2 plus 1.
That is a 3.
Okay, so Wentworth stabs Lewis in the neck. You take 3 damage,
What
Todd.
the fuck?
Blood is streaming from the wound. I assume you're not dead with 3 hit points.
I am not. That brings me down to 8 hit points. I had 12 to start out with.
Everything from
So it brings me down to 8.
you, son of a bitch.
So combat goes in order of dex.
Come at me, you.
Obviously, that was a surprise because nobody knew Corbett was going to go full crazy.
Ta-da! Surprise! It's the hubby. Motherfuckers, I will destroy you for my wife, Jane.
Who has the next highest dex?
I think Lewis and I both have 70.
We do.
Kill.
So either of you can go now.
So Nevada looks over and is shocked enough
I don't.
to not be fast enough to prevent him stabbing Lewis in the fucking neck,
You're a dick.
but sufficiently prepared enough to whip his pistol out of his jacket pocket and
Keep up from me.
pistol whip Wentworth across the back of the head
That was
with it.
my wife.
Okay, roll your fighting.
You dick.
Okay? My fighting's a 50.
Fuck you. I,
Say, Wentworth, knock it off. All right, I rolled a 29.
yeah.
Is Wentworth going to dodge?
Yes.
Oh, also, you're under this mind control for 6 rounds.
Okay, cool. I would imagine whatever creature is controlling me would make me dodge.
Technically, he's just feeding you bad data.
Okay.
Wentworth is still in control.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your dodge, Corey.
My dodge is a 40. Nice. 69.
Austin is pistol whipped. We'll say it does. You're just hitting with the blood in
Jane
the pistol.
was not the type.
We'll say that does 1d2
Those
plus 1.
things
Okay.
you see in the nudie books.
All right, it's a total of 3.
Okay, Corey, you take 3 damage.
Like, Wentworth, get a hold of yourself. What the hell are you doing?
I'm holding on to a grudge.
Well, loosen your grip on it a little
My
bit.
dead wife, you see.
Todd, make a dodge roll.
It was not the large pox.
Lewis's dodge is 35. He rolled a 96.
Oh, man.
A knife flies from amidst the detritus of the room and impales Lewis.
What the hell? Now who's stabbing him?
Holy shit, it's the Bambino!
No, it's floating through the air, and just like a lance. How many hit points do you have left, Todd?
LANC 3?
8.
8.
Flashes across the room, slams into Lewis's neck,
Oh my god.
yanks out this big stream of blood, and then it just repeatedly keeps stabbing Lewis in the chest multiple times. You take 12 points of damage.
That's my Jane.
Jesus.
Shut
Just
up.
to let you guys know, I'm
Quiet, you.
pretty sure I'm dying here. I'm getting stabbed by the ghost of Babe Ruth.
Lewis says just hang on.
Tell me about it. That's how my
So,
wife
Austin,
died from me stabbing her.
Nevada's going to need to make a sanity roll.
I would
because,
imagine so.
You know.
Ah, yes.
All right, so then I'm trying to beat my current sanity of 45.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled an 8.
You only take 1 sanity loss.
That's hard to believe.
You seem to be doing okay over there.
By the way, I'm Lewis is at -4.
Yeah, oh, no, there's no minuses.
Okay, so I'm dead.
You're dead.
Oh, shit.
Farewell.
Corey, it's,
If you
well,
see
let's see.
Jane in the afterlife, tell her I'm coming.
It's the next round, and actually, Austin goes before, has a higher dex than Wentworth.
Bring it.
All right,
you-
So, it's Nevada's turn.
Bring
seeing
it,
Lewis
you
get so
filthy man.
brutally dispatched
Cut
by
you
both
the ribbons as
Wentworth and
Well, and the knife is still in the room, and it's floating in the air, tilting towards
Jane
Nevada.
taught me knifery.
And in Wentworth's head, he just sees Jane holding the knife.
Oh, my beauty.
all right, you want her? You can have her. And
Weird seeing you with a knife and not
Nevada is going to try to shove
Not your-
Wentworth at the floating knife.
Your traditional whip
Okay.
you would hold. I remember our safe word still.
Combat stops for just a minute as Nevada says, wait, what was it?
Caterpillar.
Oh, fuck off. You can die. Okay, so I'm trying to beat a 50. Ooh, roll a 67. So I'm going to push myself for
Okay.
that.
That
All right.
was Jane's heart
And
rate
just see if I can't get something better.
Everything's better.
One more time.
when you're married.
Ooh, rolled a 44.
And you needed,
I needed a 50.
and you were trying to push him into the knife?
Yes.
Push me towards my wife, the dead one.
So you have, I mean, the knife is not stabbing Wentworth, but I'll say you have a body shield, so when it attacks you again, you can roll a bonus die for your defense.
Okay.
Your dodge. And it's Wentworth's turn. This
Wentworth-
man who killed Jane is manhandling you.
Yeah, Wentworth stabs him.
With the fountain pen?
Yes.
Okay.
The ultimate weapon.
He's very close, so you can have a bonus die.
Fuck off, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle. It's 55.
Out of
45.
you're stabbing him with the fountain pen ineffectually in his leather coat.
He went from the back end of the fountain
Sure.
pen. Yeah.
Knife turn. Roll your dodge.
Okay. And I get a bonus die, you said?
You do.
And this bonus die replaces the ones digit?
Tens.
Okay, tens. Oh, wow. Jesus.
You know what? If you wanted to replace the ones, that's perfectly
No,
fine.
I'm good with the tens. I'm good with the tens.
The 10.
All right, I'm going to go with the 33. They both succeeded, but...
He rolled a 25.
Oh, son of a bitch.
She rolled a 25, my wife.
So the knife slips around Wentworth, slashing at
Look at her dance.
Nevada's hands holding him. You take 3 points of damage.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, she's doing the Charleston.
It's your turn again, Austin.
All right. All right, Wentworth, I can only deal with one fucking bit of insanity at a time.
Hello.
I'm sorry, buddy.
My wife, Jane, is here.
And he shoves the snub nose barrel of his 38 into Wentworth's mouth and pulls the trigger.
Well, roll your murder skill, and we'll see if you do that.
Okay. Firearms is a 40.
Can Wentworth do anything about this?
You can dodge.
Dodge?
Yeah, you can dodge.
Okay, I do that.
Do I get any bonus for being close quarters or anything?
Nah.
Do I get any bonus for being just wacky?
No.
Oh, I failed.
I got a 18.
I rolled an 86.
Yeah, so the gun misfires for a moment,
Yeah, so he's going to be 86 just like me, I say from the afterworld.
and it's Wentworth's turn.
What round are we on?
3.
And it's 6 rounds of.
Wentworth.
Wackiness?
Let's be fair. He's not going to recover from this. Can Wentworth go hand in hand with what he perceives as his wife's hand holding the knife
Yes.
and work together to stab on both sides of the neck?
You know what?
Yeah.
You can. Jane will help you. Take a bonus die.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Okay, my fighting is 45, so. Ooh, 51, even with advantage.
No, dang.
She never loved me.
Don't have to. You don't have to roll, Austin.
Okay. So was that the knife's attack as well?
No.
Ah, yes, my betrothed. How I
Okay,
missed
so you can dodge. You need to beat a 39, which is what I rolled.
stabbed with the best.
I'm just rolling my regular 2 die at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The one time we had sex was the most wonderful time of my life.
Ooh, I failed. I rolled an 85.
Cool.
At least I think we were having sex.
So Jane, Wentworth. It looks like Wentworth is doing it, but it's not really. It's something animating the knife. You take 5 points of damage.
Oh, shit.
Stabby.
Down to 2.
Stabbing through the leather coat.
Okay. Now that it's close, can I try to seize the knife?
Of course.
Does that count as my whole action?
Well, of course.
Okay. What kind of skill is that going to be?
You can try to grab the knife out of the air using the fighting maneuver. Basically, roll your brawl, opposed to Corbett's will.
All right. I'm trying to beat a 50 and also whatever Corbett rolled. Son of a bitch. Where are these 80s coming from?
Jane.
Nice. You had a great shot because he rolled a 72. Wentworth's turn.
damn it.
Wentworth will stab him in the neck with his fountain pen.
Okay. No bonus die this time.
Okay. This time he still gives a little wink to Faux Jane.
I love you. You're still pretty,
Yeah.
even dead. It's a wonderful thing.
It looks like the left side of her face is melting,
Oh,
and one of her eyes is turning a gangrenous color.
I've seen worse. It's
24.
Oh,
Nice.
shit. I guess I'm trying to dodge that.
Roll your dodge.
fury of my pen.
I rolled a 13.
Ooh.
You just barely dodge. The fountain pen comes swinging. A fountain pen stabbing into the wooden walls as Nevada just dodges all around this basement, trying to get away from
The
the
lamest fight we've ever done.
fountain pen and knife.
It's just you do. Austin's fighting a skinny old man with a fountain pen.
And not doing well.
Worst or best?
But well,
Roll your dodge for the knife coming at you.
41.
That's it. Yeah, that's sufficient.
Yeah.
The knife bursts through, slams towards you, dodge out of the way. It slams over the wooden slice, just shatters the wood. It's your turn, Austin. You can run. You know that.
That's what I was about to say. So
Leave us be.
So this house doesn't belong in a museum. So Nevada's making his way to the steps and is going to try to run up the steps. And as he does, he's going to turn and try to shoot Wentworth in the head.
Wait, why?
Okay.
I don't get it.
So this is firearms, so I'm trying to beat a 40.
Jane.
74. But I'm still fucking running.
Sure. Corey, it's your turn.
so Wentworth is obviously not a fighter. He does have a decent persuade, though.
Okay.
He shouts towards Nevada, you know, Jane and I are poly. If you'd like to perhaps throw in on this.
Kyle, I feel like I should get a bonus die in resisting.
You don't have to roll to resist it.
Ah, yes. Oh, and these days as swingers. Ever so sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Jane. I told him, yes.
So I tell you what, obviously Nevada's not going to fall for that. But just for a minute, Corbett makes Jane flicker in Nevada's brain. So Corey, if you make the test, he'll have to make a sanity roll.
Okay. Persuade is 60. 92. No, nobody's that horny.
So I'll send one more attack with the knife, and if it doesn't hit you, then you get away.
Okay.
Kill that man for not wanting to sleep with us, my dear. Yeah.
You can make your dodge against a 13.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Is there anything I can do to boost my rolls other than pushing?
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
We'd really like to sleep with you.
Oh, I rolled a 19.
Yay.
Please make love to us.
You take 3 points of damage.
All right.
How many hit points do you have left?
Oh, I had 2.
Oh no!
Oh,
Corey Wentworth still has 2 more turns of madness, I
yeah,
think.
sure.
So the knife swings down through the air and it's in Jane's hand. And she says, "We can be together," and she hands you the knife.
Okay, thank you. I cut my own throat.
In the hidden room on the other side of the basement's false wall, Corbett rustles slightly underneath his bed of dirt and chuckles.
Oh, Jesus.
Is he still alive, or is
Yeah, he's turning into some undead monstrosity.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so, well, you're all dead. I consider that a win.
Yeah.
Is that the first time that's happened so far?
That you all died?
Oh, definitely.
You all died in Alien, right?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 died in Mork Borg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
I like Call of Cthulhu. This is
It
a
is.
real simple, fun introductory adventure. It's a good
Yeah,
one to
it's
start
not
with.
terribly complicated. I think it's a lot of fun. Of course, we haven't done it to where we've created our own characters and all that yet, but...
No, I've never run a Call of Cthulhu campaign. I've only ever run one-shots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it might be interesting to do it at some point in the future. I know we've got a lot on our list, but...
Yeah, I know. And we're already doing Octone Cthulhu, which we've been having a lot of fun with. So,
And very much in the same wheelhouse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, more pulp, of course.
Sure.
So what do you guys think about the Call of Cthulhu system?
It's okay. Not my favorite. I prefer 2D20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too. Yeah.
That's really my preference for any system, though. And honestly, I mean, Octone Cthulhu is a lot newer. This is very much in the traditional sense of every kind of aspect being accounted for with a fully fledged mechanic. Whereas, like Octone Cthulhu, there's no sanity meter. You can just take mental
Stress.
damage
Yeah.
versus physical, and I feel like that's more efficient.
Good call.
For the storytelling.
Yeah, it is. Call of Cthulhu was designed in 1981. Obviously, they have updated it since then. This is not the version.
81?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is not the version that would have been played in 81.
No, I didn't even know Lovecraft was alive back then.
Well, he wasn't. Or baboons ripped him apart.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully Patreon listeners enjoyed this. Not many of you were in it. The Kitty Bussy was.
Yes. Thank you guys, as always. It's a goddamn wonder you listen to us. And the fact that you throw money at us makes us incredibly happy.
Absolutely.
And your kind words mean a lot, and your money means even more.
So
here's
please enjoy this gift to you.
Yes.
So here's some nerd shit.
Okay.
It was Junior Agent Kenny Bussy because in the Octon Cthulhu adventure, it's Senior Agent Bussy who sends you guys to Vienna as part of Majestic, because Majestic is a ancestor, or is the eventually the Irregular Investigations Division becomes Majestic.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good job,
Obviously
Kyle.
not with your agents.
See, this is why
We have a multiverse.
we chose you as our leader.
Yeah. That's it. That's the reason.
But again, if you guys do have any suggestions on stuff we do in the Patreon, we're more than happy to. I don't think we've done a ton of just playing games on here. So if there's some games you'd like us to play, please let us know.
Yeah, and the Patreon special episodes, that's the best place for us to play really obscure stuff. Not that Call of Cthulhu is obscure. It's definitely not.
Sure.
But if there's some obscure game you think we would like, but that wouldn't make sense as a regular episode, we'd do it on here.
Like, if there's a Seabiscuit RPG, let us know, and we'll play that. Yeah.
If there's a Seabiscuit RPG, that's in the main feed.
The Cider House Rules RPG.
That's fair.
You know, I once pitched at the bar. I think, Todd, you were there. The Sessions, the musical.
Yes.
What about
absolutely.
the Sessions, the RPG?
There we go.
John Hawk's
Yes.
Lord Turn.
Hudson Hawk. Well, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you guys again.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.
What a riveting Call of Cthulhu adventure.
Man, that was great.
That was fun.
I remember all the things that occurred.
Yeah. Blood.
There was antics.
Well, hey, thank you for listening to Bastard Quest. And most of all, thanks to all our Patreon members.
Yeah.
We like y'all a whole bunch.
You make this sort of thing possible.
But yeah, again, that's the sort of thing we put on the Patreon from time to time. Next week, again, Session 0 for Warhammer Fantasy. It's a hoot.
Thanks for listening. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
Austin!